to the $100 MBA Show, the podcast that feels good in your ears with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today is a must-read episode. In our must-read episodes, I share with you a book that has greatly influenced me as an entrepreneur. I share some of the insights of the book, how it influenced me, and explain why you should read it. Today's must-read book is Scrum by Jeff Sutherland. Scrum is a great book to learn an effective and efficient way to run projects with a group of people. This could be any kind of project. It could be something that you outsource. It could be software. It could be a content project like a course or a program, a book. But how do you manage that project when you're not working alone, when you're working with other people? The Scrum technique and this book really can help you out. So let's get down to business. This episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by NADEX, Binary Options Trading. Our listeners appreciate just how far $100 can go, and so does NADEX. With just $100, you can get started. With NADEX Binary Options, you trade on whether you think the market will be above or below a certain point by a certain time. Go to nadex.com and open up a free account. That's NADEX, NADEX.com. Futures, options, and swaps trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Scrum is a book that was gifted to me by a friend when he learned I was working on a large project, and that large project is Webinar Ninja. And that friend is a friend here in San Diego, Rick Mulready. You can check out his work at rickmulready.com. Thanks, Rick, for the book. The book is really insightful, especially if you're going to manage a project, if you're going to work on a project with other people than yourself. And this could be even a project with one other person or two other people. But the point is that you all have to have a plan on how you're going to accomplish the task. And this technique, the Scrum technique, has been adopted by many large tech companies because they find it to be very efficient when it comes to completing projects quickly and efficiently. Now, if you're wondering how large your team or your group needs to be in order to actually pull off your project effectively, this book can help. It actually gives you the characteristics of a great team and offers suggestions for a good group size, obviously depending on what you're working on. In general, this book is not only about working in groups or working on a project with a group, but it also offers insights on how to be more productive, whatever business you're in, non-for-profit or even a home business. One of the topics it discusses that I found very interesting was multitasking is overrated. He talks about how when somebody multitasks, they don't really get anything done efficiently. And it's better for people to focus on one or two tasks, maybe three, and just do those one at a time and focus on those 100%. When everybody in the group has their tasks and they know what they have to do and they can focus on those, few tasks at a time, that's when things really start moving. You're a lot more effective and efficient, which leads me to the other point that he discusses in the book, that is doing the right job the first time and immediately addressing problems as they arise or as you're being productive. So you do your best work the first time, you put it out there in the world, and your users or the people that are beta testing what you're working on, again, this could be anything, software, it could be a course, it could be whatever you're doing, and they can give you any of the problems that they're facing and you can quickly fix them as they are working with it. He also mentions in this process to be careful of overwork. When you overwork yourself, when the group overworks itself, it leads to fatigue and mistakes. This is a great reminder because, I'm a huge hard worker. I like to hustle. I like to get a lot of things done. And so is Nicole. And Nicole's probably even more than me. But we also have to check in and make sure that we're not overworking ourselves because we found ourselves when we do push the limits that mistakes happen. And luckily, the mistakes haven't been huge. They've been, rectifiable. We can change them and fix them. But we start to feel, wow, we're making one or two mistakes that are unnecessary. We really need to rectify them, and we need to, kick it back a few notches. He explains this in detail in the book. He also talks about triaging or prioritizing, figuring out what's really important and working on that first when you're working on a project, and also how to create an environment in your group. Later in the book, he mentions something very important. He talks about how to create a safe environment for the group. He says it's the manager's job to make sure that there's zero tolerance for disrespect or abuse of the workplace or the project you're working on. People need to feel comfortable. They need to feel like it's a safe place that they can share their ideas and that they can work hard. And if they do make a mistake, it's not a huge deal. They're not scolded for it. The team can pick them up and help them out and move forward. And a lot of the teachings that he adds in this book comes from sports and group and team mentality. If you're watching an NBA game, you might see one of the players and miss a free throw. He'll miss it. But then you'll see his teammates that are on the baseline that are waiting for him to shoot the second shot give him a high five. He missed it. Why are they giving him a high five? They give him a high five for encouragement, letting him know it's okay. We still love you. We still validate what you do for the team. Keep moving forward. You got this. And he uses these examples and he talks about how we have to encourage each other as a group, regardless of what happens. We got to keep moving forward. Address the problem, make sure it doesn't happen again, but move forward. Later on, he also discusses something that I really thought was interesting. He says, be careful of letting your success make you complacent. Sometimes when we get a little bit of success, a little bit of momentum, we start to relax a little bit and we don't stay competitive. We still got to be on our game. We still have to innovate. We still have to improve because everybody around us is doing the same. I love this point he makes. I got more I want to discuss about this book, Scrum by Jeff Sutherland. But before that, I got to give love to today's sponsor, VeriSign. VeriSign is celebrating 30 years of .com. VeriSign is launching the Internet Official Contest, giving you the opportunity to win up to $35,000 to turn your bright idea into a new business. Register a new .com domain name by visiting VeriSignContest.com and make sure you register through January 26th and April 30th. And make sure you complete and submit a contest entry form during the contest entry period. A panel of industry experts, celebrity entrepreneurs, along with the results of a social media voting campaign will determine the monthly winners. There are plenty of prizes, 5 monthly winners actually, a total of 15, and 1 grand prize winner. Each monthly winner will receive $5,000 and will be eligible to compete to win the grand prize of $30,000. So make your idea internet official. Register a new .com domain name with a participating registrar during the contest entry period and enter for an opportunity to win up to $35,000. Learn more about the contest and its rules at VeriSignContest.com. That's VeriSign contest.com. Here are a couple more things that Scrum discusses in the book. One is the importance of concentrating on your resources and mental energies. You got to take a look at what you have at your disposal. What are you good at? What are the things you have? What are the tools you have? What expertise do you have on the team? And how much time and mental energy you have to expend on this project. That way you can pace yourself. I love this point. He then outlines the 4 essential characteristics of a product owner. Whatever product you are producing, you need to have these essential characteristics. I'm going to let you read all about it in Scrum. Scrum is a great, great book, and it has really got me thinking about how we manage our work and our team at the $100 MBA, as well as Webinar Ninja, and especially Webinar Ninja, because I have a larger team there working on the software, programmers, a project manager, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page and that we all understand this philosophy. So if you're working in a group like this, it might be a good idea to order Scrum for everybody in that group. Get them to read it and discuss it. See what you guys have. Have a little book club going on there. But it's essential to having a great running team and a great project. We got a link to Scrum in the show notes if you want to order it online. You can find today's show notes at 100mba.net/MBA198. Wow, we're almost up to episode 200. It's huge, guys. All right, that wraps up today's episode. If you love the $100 MBA show, if you are finding this podcast to be a great resource, we would love to hear about it. Drop us an iTunes rating and review. It takes 2 minutes, and everybody who leaves us an iTunes rating and review enters our weekly draw to win a free ride, a completely free lifetime membership to the $100 MBA Training and Community. Over 180 video lessons, interviews with experts. You can ask questions anytime, workbooks, a whole lot